Everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to integrate WebSockets in native Android application with NodeJS as the backend. Now I have already made a video on Socket.io for real-time communication or real-time chat app. So if you are interested in that, you can watch one of my earlier videos, but this video is purely based on WebSockets. That's the first thing. Second thing is I don't have two Android devices, so I will be using a web project like a React.js project, and the other is my real Android device. Now if you have two Android devices, you can test on that as well. I'm pretty sure it will work. And the other thing is that don't test it on Android emulators, like Android emulators are known to have bugs and you might face a lot of issues. So yeah, let's get started. So first I have this Android app, and here you will have to enter some username. So I'll just enter Rahul, and here you will have to enter room name. So each room is like each room it is kind of like a personal space where people in the same room can talk to each other. uh, so something like that. Okay, so here I will just enter T. Okay, I'll click on enter, and here you should see that okay, Rahul joined T. Okay, because as soon as I join a particular group, I send a message from the client side or our native Android side to our backend that okay, this user has joined this group. Now the server sends back this message to all the clients which have connected to this particular room. Now I will go to my web app, and here I will just enter username as Rohit, and I will enter the same room T. Okay, I'll click on submit, and here you should see Rohit join T. Now if I go back to my Android app, here you can see I get the Rohit join T message as well. Now here I will just submit some message from my Android app. Suppose hi. If I click on submit, okay, I can see it over and in my Android app. If I go back to my web app, here you can see I can see the message hi as well. If I click on hello, and here you can see I can see that message hello as well. So yeah, let's see how to do this. So first I will explain you the backend code, because that would give you a better idea on how we are structuring this. So I'm using Node.js, but if you want, you can use other backend as well. Also, if you are curious on how I implemented this for the web, I have already made a video on this, so you can watch that using nextjs, or you can use react.js as well. But this video is for native Android with Kotlin. So first I will explain you guys the backend. So here first you will have to create this package.json file. You can create it manually, or you can just run npm init-y, and this will create package.json for you. Of course you need node.js installed, and then you will have to install these two dependencies, express and express-ws. So just do npm install express and npm install express-ws. Next I'll go to index.js, and here we are first creating object of express, then we are initializing our chat user, and over here we are initializing express.ws and wrapping our app inside it. Then if you see over here, to connect to this WebSocket, you will have to enter the URL as /chat and whatever is your room name. So we, in our demo, we had entered it as T, correct. So we have entered this as T. So what it will do is it will just take whatever room name you have entered, and it will create a room for you. So if the room already does not exist, so I'll show you where that logic is, but currently here I'm just creating a chat user. I'll show you that file as well. But here inside chat user, firstly we are sending this function. So this is a function ws.send. Whenever I want to send some message from server to client, I use this ws.send function. So I'm actually sending this function as a parameter to our chat user, and here I'm just passing our room name as well. And here I'm listening for messages from the client. So whenever we get a message, we call this handle message, which again has been defined inside chat user. And whenever a user leaves a particular chat room, then also we handle that using user.handle close as well. So suppose here I have my sorry, where did it go, device manager. Okay, just remove this, remove from sidebar, running devices. Okay, so here I have my device running, right? So what I'll do is that I'll just close this. uh, I'll just close my web app, so it is kind of like leaving that particular room, right? So if I just close this, I'll go back to my Android app, and here you can see Rohit left T. So that's what here we are handling. Like whenever a close function has been called, we just do user.handle close, and here we are just starting our server. Now coming back to chat user.js, so firstly we are importing room. I'll come back to room.js in a bit, and inside chat user it takes the send function which we were sending as well as the room name, and here we are calling room.get room name, which has been defined inside this function, and this name is equal to null at the very start. And if you see, this send function has been assigned to underscore send. Here I have created another function, send. Okay, and this internally calls this dot underscore send, so it calls this dot underscore send, which internally calls wh dot send, which we had send it from as a parameter. Okay, next, inside handle join, so whenever a user joins our server, we are sending a message from the client side to the server side, right? So we are initializing this name. Okay, and then we call this join method inside our room, and then we call this broadcast method inside our room. So I'll come back to that in a bit, but here while broadcasting, we just send a type of note and text like, okay, this user has joined this particular room. For handle chat, like there is one issue in my backend, like inside handle join I am initializing name, right, this dot name, but inside handle chat this dot name again becomes null. I don't know why, but when I do this handle close, this dot name is properly displayed, because I just showed you, right? This dot name was displayed whenever when we close the web app inside our mobile app. It got displayed that this particular web user has left our chat. So there is this one bug which I'm not really sure how to handle it. And if you see this handle join, okay, I have already shown you this. Next, for handle chat, here we have one text, and here we are again calling the broadcast method from our room file. So we have again, I'll just show you that in a bit. Again, we are sending the name, the type, as well as the text. And here this text comes from the client side. Okay, and here handle message, it's basically like depending on what exactly type you are sending, I'm doing calling the appropriate function. So if the user sends a type of join, then I am calling the handle join. If it is a type of chat, then I am calling handle chat. I haven't done this private chat, so ignore this for now. And for handle close, we are just getting that particular we are first checking if this particular name exists in this room or not. If yes, then leave this particular room and broadcast it to all the other users of that room. And here I'm doing model.exports. Next, coming back to room.js, here again we are first created this variable called rooms, so that we can keep track of all the rooms which we have created. So here is a static method which I have defined. So if rooms, this variable does not have this particular room name, then it will create a new room. Otherwise it will just return the room which is already present inside our rooms map variable. Then here we are creating a constructor, so we are just assigning this dot name equal to room name, and this dot members equal to new set. So whoever members join this particular group are stored in this variable. And here is the join method, so we are just calling this dot members dot add. Okay, just adding it to our members variable, which is an array. And for leave, again we are deleting it from this dot members. And the next thing is broadcast, so here we are just calling, so for broadcasting we are basically calling this send method which we had defined it inside this chat user. So if you see, this method gets called, which internally calls the wh.send method. Okay, so inside broadcast we are basically doing that, we are just looping over all the members and sending it to all the members. And here I'm not using this, but if you want to get the list of all members, you can do that. And to get a particular member, this is the logic for it. And we are doing model.exports room as well. So that's it on the backend side. Coming back to the native Android side now, you can just inside my package.json to run this, you can just do npm run start or npm run dev, and it starts on localhost colon 3001. Now I haven't hosted this on AWS or Google Cloud, so it is hosted locally. So while connecting from Android app to your backend, you will have to enter your own IP address. I will show you that in a bit. That's why I was telling you don't test it on the emulator, because the IP address thing causes lot of issue. So yeah, next inside our Android project, so I'm using old XML layout, but if you want you can use Jetpack Compose as well. Here inside build.gradle.kts I have added these two libraries, OKHTTP as well as JSON. Now this has been defined inside the version catalog. So if you see, you will have to add this OKHTTP as well as this JSON and this thing over here as well, this entire thing, and this OKHTTP as well. Next you will just have to go to build.gradle and click on sync now. Once you do that, you will have to go to activity underscore main, and here you can see I have just defined two edit text, one for username, one for room name, and one for submitting the particular username as well as room name. And if you go to main activity, that's what I am doing. I'm taken this edit text to edit text and button. I have initialized them, and once enter button is called, I'm getting the room name as well as the normal username, and I'm sending it back to our sending it to room activity, both of this. Okay, also inside your Android manifest you will have to add this internet permission, and given that this backend is hosted locally, I am using uses clear text traffic equal to true. Next inside receive data, I have created this data class because I know whenever I'm sending or receiving data to and from the server, I'm sending it in form of type as well as text. Okay, if you are just sending normal string data, you don't require this. Next, here I have created one custom adapter, so this would be useful for our recycler view for displaying a list of messages. I am using recycler view, so it takes a list of received data, and it has just a normal text view, and inside on create view holder we are initializing this text row item, and here on bind view holder we are just assigning text to our text view. So we are defining the assigning the type as well as the text, and here get our item count, we are just giving back the size. And if you see the text row item, here I have just one text view inside of frame layout. Next, you will have to create another activity called room activity, and here inside activity underscore room, as you can see, again I have taken one edit text, one button for submitting the message, and one recycler view as well. uh, so yeah, this is the logic. And the last thing, which is our room activity. So here as you can see, I have just defined created variables for name and room, which will be sent from our main activity. Here I have our WebSocket variables. Here I have created one list. I have initial created variable for recycler view, submit button, and edit text, as well as our custom adapter. Here I am initializing our recycler view, edit text, submit button, as well as our adapter, assigning our adapter to our recycler view. And on submit button click listener, I am creating a JSON objects, because we while sending a message, it's not necessary to send it via JSON object. You can just send a normal string as well, but that is the pattern which I am following, and that's how I am handling it on the server side as well. Okay, so I'm just sending type chat, type whatever the user has entered inside the edit text. Okay, and I am doing WebSocket.send JSON object.toString, and this is how you get data from your main activity, the name as well as the room. And to connect to our WebSocket, you will have to write ws colon slash slash. Now this entire thing should be your own IP address, don't copy this, otherwise don't it will not work for you. Our port is 3001 slash chat, and the room name, so this is how we get the room name. And here we are initializing OKHTTP client as well as this WebSocket listener class which I have created. And here I am just initializing our WebSocket is equal to client dot new WebSocket, and just passing our request as well as our listener. And if you see this class, once the WebSocket has been opened, like it has been connected, again I'm doing the same thing. I'm using JSON object type as well as the name like this particular user has joined, and I'm sending the JSON object. And similarly for message, once you receive a message from the server, I just call this handle incoming message, and on failure I'm just displaying a toast message. Inside handle incoming message, again we are getting the data in form of string, so we want to convert it to JSON, so we are using this JSON library, which will help us to convert that data from JSON, from a string to JSON. And I'm just adding that particular data inside our list. And once our list changes, I'm just calling adapter dot notify item inserted my list dot size, so that our recycler view reloads. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.